We don't hate you. We don't care enough about you to hate you. We just see that you're a fool. You make a fool out of yourself virtually every day. That's why we talk about you. We're laughing at you. We're making a mockery of you. You're making a mockery of yourself. It's not hatred. You really should learn to distinguish between those two different emotions because you're receiving one in droves, and it's not hatred. You can act, like you're Beyonce all you want.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath even order.
Everyone's been whispering it for months, so let's just say it out loud. Megyn Kelly didn't clap back at Sunny Hostin. She performed a controlled demolition of the entire act. And yes, that's the word, act. Because if you've watched Hostin cycle through the same solemn faces and preloaded
has some more on Ms. Crockett. He's Benny Johnson. He's host of The Benny Show, and he has an exclusive report now on Crockett's alleged background. See, he traveled to where Crockett claims she is from a tough area of South Dallas. You hear her speak. She tries to talk street like, okay. Compared to where she's actually from, it's quite a different picture.
Words. You already know the script. Here's the click confirmation you came for. Kelly watched Hostin paint America as an irredeemable dystopia and then held up a mirror, Harvard cap in the reflection and all. Immediate news on the table. Sunny celebrated her son's graduation from one of the most elite institutions on earth while insisting this country is a...
I'm dying to ask you about Jasmine Crockett.
Oh boy.
She seems like a nightmare.
She's delightful.
What's that like to work against her?
So she serves on oversight committee with me and she's on my Doge subcommittee.
Great.
Yeah. I'll tell you one of the funny things was we were having a committee hearing on oversight and it was really late at night. And I was really irritated because I'm always like, why can't we work normal work hours like regular people, 8 to 5? I don't know what's wrong with Congress that we're always doing crazy things at 9, 10, 11, 2 a.m. under Nancy Pelosi. So we're on the oversight committee and she is running off her mouth and I shot at her about her
the white supremacist gauntlet that swallows futures whole. That whiplash you felt? Not your neck, your common sense. Stakes? Huge. If Hostin's narrative is true, Merit's a myth and opportunity is a costume. If Kelly's critique lands, a daytime TV morality play is selling fear as wisdom. Quick proof the tension is real. Hostin's feed beams Ivy League success at the same time her monologues forecast societal collapse. Roadmap.
You can play the victim when you're not, but you're going to have your hands full with people laughing at you because you behave so foolishly. And the fact that you're a diva bitch behind the scenes, so much worse. You're not even beloved by your staff. Like you alienate everyone. The people who know you best don't like you. The people who are just glancing at what you're putting out there publicly don't like.
For tonight. We're unpacking the Harvard flex versus doom prophecy. The China will fill the vacuum, reality check, the courtroom, cosplay style of argument, the selective outrage scorecard, and the identity arithmetic that turns every discussion into a census. And yes, we're closing every loop we open. Stay with me. Here's the expectation versus reality. Hinge, the internet can't stop replaying.
I said something along the lines of like, well, you can't read it because of your fake eyelashes. Because she had all the information in front of her and she's like, we don't even know what's going on and da-da-da. And oh my gosh, total explosion. But she
insulted you too. She said something about a butch body.
Yeah.
She's nasty too.
Nasty. Which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I mean, I'm
Expectation. If America is nothing but stolen land, domestic terror, and an ever-shrinking circle of rights, then the arc of a black sun at Harvard should be impossible. Reality. There he is, robed, smiling, credentialed, proof that the door Hostin swears is welded shut is, at minimum, opening for people who work, plan, and persevere. That's not
the Human Rights Campaign. These are the people who run around harassing every business to make sure that they're being pro-LGBTQ and pro-DEI and not doing anything that a Human Rights Campaign finds offensive in any way, shape, or form, unless if you are in a wheelchair and are the governor of Texas, in which case it is fine for Jasmine Crockett to do this to you.
Minimizing injustice. It's refusing to erase evidence of opportunity because outrage needs clean lines. And Kelly, who's taken enough media shrapnel to build a statue, doesn't need to yell to make the point. She just asks the question everyone else is biting back. If the system is as terminal as you say, why does your own family keep disproving your premise in high definition? Lean in, because here comes the second best point first. The daytime bubble is not a conspiracy theory, it's a stage direction. The applause sign blinks, the panel nods in rhythm, and pre-approved villains rotate like a lazy Susan. Hostin delivers a sermon. The audience delivers oxygen. But the real world doesn't clap on command. In that arena, arguments have to breathe on their own. Kelly's critique is basically a stress test. Remove the applause track and ask, does the claim stand? Watch the beats. America is structurally hostile to people like us.
Pause.
My son just soared through every elite gate we were told was sealed.
Pause.
He is still at risk. That last line tries to recover the preset mood, but you can feel the logic wobble. It's hard to sell permanent emergency when your own receipts look like the brochure for the American dream. Here's the strongest point second, because this is the one that cuts past theater to consequences. Kelly's argument about power vacuums is brutally simple. If America downsizes itself in the name of moral self-flagellation, the replacement won't be Denmark. It will be a regime that jails dissidents, corrals minorities in camps, and treats individual liberty like a nuisance. You don't have to canonize America to recognize a scale of lesser evils. Kelly's warning carries an uncomfortable edge precisely because it's not fashionable, it's geopolitical adulthood. And that's the tell. Hostin's monologues reward the feeling of righteousness in the moment. Kelly's caution forces you to think about the morning after. Short line break here, a pattern interrupt, because this is where most conversations tap out. The applause-pleasing version is easy. Declare America uniquely monstrous. Exhale, collect likes. The grown-up version is harder. Compare systems, measure freedoms, admit trade-offs. If the leader of the free world leads less, someone leads more. And their playbook doesn't include your rights, we'll come back to that. First, the courtroom cosplay. You've seen it. The chin tilt, the furrowed brow, the as a former prosecutor, cadence that turns daytime commentary into a closing argument nobody asked for. The verdict arrives before the case is made. Dissent isn't just wrong, it's immoral. That's the move Kelly punctures, quietly, surgically. Hostin speaks like a judge whose robe came with a ring light. The cadence says authority, the content says assumption. Watch how fast I disagree becomes you're dangerous, how disagreement becomes pathology. It's effective TV. It's lousy thinking. And it's catnip for an audience primed to accept certainty over substance. Mini cliffhanger. We'll test this in a minute with her takes on Israel and domestic extremism. Keep a pin in it. Back to the resume contradiction because it matters. Hostin isn't merely a TV personality. She's a success story by any metric. Binghamton undergrad. Notre Dame law. Prosecutor. Author. A seat at television's most bankable table. A child at Harvard. In any other era, that bio is a love letter to possibility. In hers, it's wielded as Exhibit A in a case about oppression. Kelly doesn't dunk on the success. She interrogates the framing. If the edifice is rigged, how do you keep winning inside it? The honest answer would be nuanced. Yes, barriers exist. Yes, opportunity exists too. Yes, we fight for the former without lying about the latter. But nuance doesn't trend. Certainty does. So the nuance gets sanded off, and the performance kicks in. Cue the solemn piano. Cue the line about, my daughter has fewer rights than I did. Cue the ritual sigh. But watch the audience. Some of them are doing the math in real time. They can applaud and still think, wait, fewer rights than when? Let's crack open the selective outrage file, because this is where the pattern shows it seems. Hostin can turn up the flamethrower on enemies she's licensed to hate, but when a favored tribe fumbles, the temperature drops to lukewarm analysis. It's ref as